Hey, this is Cameron, and welcome to the practice log. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Alright, we got a lot of stuff to do today. Actually, no we don't. It's like almost Christmas time. I've been just doing whatever, you know? Practice has been pretty good. I put in like an hour and a half today. I know that I talked about this whole system where I would do like 30 minutes on each piece. I've been obsessed with the fugue of 997, so that's all the work I've been doing. I've barely been doing anything else. And I want to put some actual progress into it, so I'm not even going to play that for you today. In fact, I'm not going to play anything for you today. I'm gonna make this video, and we're gonna go through the usual things, which, in case this is your first practice log, let me go ahead and tell you what you should expect from this video. 3 things. First, we're gonna do some small talk. That's this right now. Hey, how's the weather? It's, wet right now. How about that? Use that to geolocate me, fool. Second, I'm gonna answer some comment questions. I have no idea what I'm gonna get into, but, you know, you guys always be commenting, so I gotta answer some of them. And then third, I'm gonna play something for you, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in another practice session tonight, then I'm going to put in another practice session tomorrow morning, and then I'm going to play you the fugue to show you what 3 practice sessions sounds like. I'm making really good time in it. I'm going to be honest with you, that fugue was always super intimidating to me, especially after learning the first page or so, because the next half of the fugue is basically just the same thing but twice as fast. But it's actually been going surprisingly well, and I really feel like the work I've put in over the last 2 years or so, my fingers are just getting better at stroking the string and not missing and not having terrible sounding nail sound, and just all these little improvements that are really subtle and kind of hard to explain and hard to practice per se, but just the years and years of experience, I'm really noticing, especially after starting my master's degree and just, you know, doing this YouTube channel and practicing a lot more. I'm just noticing some fine-tuned stuff is just getting better and better over time. So that's pretty exciting. It's pretty encouraging to see that. You know, a lot of this stuff is slow. Guitar progress, especially if you're a beginner, the progress is really fast because you're just going from not playing to playing, so you're infinitely better even after day 1. But a lot of the progress for this stuff is just really slow, and you don't notice it, and you kind of feel the same for a long time. There's nothing quite like just banging out rep for a year and just playing stuff a million times and not mindlessly playing it, mind you, but trying to practice effectively, slowly, clearly, and just getting your hands used to that over years and years. So here's to more years of doing that. Is that enough small talk for you? Whoa! I'm actually not done with the small talk. So you might have noticed, I'm somewhere else. This isn't my usual setting. I think what I'm gonna do, because filming here is fun, you know, it's a nice change of pace, but I'm using this Yeti microphone. You might have noticed in the last video, there was this high-pitched hum. I think it's one of the electronics in this room. I don't hear it right now, but I don't know, it's just not as streamlined and I don't want to say professional, because my videos aren't professional, but it just isn't the quality that I'm used to, and it makes me uncomfortable. So I think I'm going to go back to my apartment for a couple of days just to bang out a bunch of videos, maybe some Christmas special videos, who knows, and then come back for the holidays again. I only live 3 hours from my parents' house, so it's not a big deal. Did you see that mosquito? So I don't know, I expect this will be the last video in this setting you'll see for a while, so the next reaction video should be in the usual spot again. I'm always looking for ways to improve my video quality. Maybe I haven't done that so much throughout my grad program because I'm just kind of holding on for dear life right now, honestly. With seeing how some people make YouTube videos, especially those really big channels, it does kind of make me want to invest in maybe consulting with a videographer and getting some opinions on that or something. Because I have all these questions, I totally get audio production when it comes to studio setting. Right now, this isn't the best. The Yeti microphone sucks. If you want to make videos like this, or anything for that matter, audio interface and get a Rode condenser microphone, and it's going to be so much better because you can really tell the quality difference here. But it makes me wonder how people are doing man on the street videos with really nice sounding audio, and it's what's the equipment even involved in that? I don't even know. So I don't know. This is just small talk right now, just stuff I've been thinking about. Maybe over the summer I'll dive into that, but for now, reaction videos, practice logs, that's what we're doing. Alright. That's enough small talk here. Let's go ahead and jump into some comment questions, shall we? Whoa, okay, so speaking of hand synchronization and doing things a million times, let's actually start with this question. This is from Ayush Dahal, 1997, friend of the channel. How's it going? Hey, Cameron. Thank you for addressing me by Cameron. Before I actually jump into this, because this reminded me of that, you may not know this, but I am actually in grad school. I know, it's a real secret here on the channel. When you get your graduate degree, you don't really get a new title for it. You're still Mr. Fernandez, or in the case of me, unfortunately, Mr. Hands. Don't Google it. It is really something to consider. Like, if I were to get my doctorate, then I would no longer be Mr. Hands, and it would just be wrong to call me that, which would be so amazing. Dr. Hands, son. Another 2 years to separate myself from that might actually be worth it. Maybe there's some low-end school out there where I can get a full ride and the classes will just be a joke and I'll just be there for 2 years doing nothing. That might be good. But, alright, here's the question. Hey, Cameron. I just joined the undergrad program for classical guitar. Nice, dude. That's literally my life path. So, one step closer to being just like me. The most difficult thing for me is the synchronization of using I, M, and A while playing. I assume you might be new to classical guitar then. I imagine if you were using a pick all throughout your life and now you're forced to use these things, that can be a little difficult. Do you have a tip to improve my I, M, and A synchronization? Like, for example, my professor gives me etude to play and tells me to use I and M, but I end up using I, and M to do things randomly, like use I repeated and forget about M. It's so frustrating, but I really want to work on it. I can tell you exactly what that is. And it's actually what I mentioned in the beginning of this video. You play things a million times and you'll get really, really good. That's just kind of how it works, right? But you can't do it mindlessly. And the reason why you're playing I and then M, or like just doing random fingers, is because you're probably practicing these etudes mindlessly, which isn't your fault. Like, it sounds like you're probably new to classical guitar. Something that I didn't really start doing until more recently, like honestly in the last year or so, maybe something that you could ask your professor about and start doing now, is writing in fingerings for every note on that page. And listen, that sounds like a lot, but we're just talking about etudes right now. You have some Carcassi etude that your professor wants you to learn. How many notes is it really? And there's a lot of repeated sections, so of course you don't have to write out notes if the fingerings are symmetrical throughout the whole thing, but for every new figure where it's a different fingering idea, everything should be written out. And right now, you might not have the experience to even know what good fingerings are, but just ask your professor about it and maybe just spend a lesson writing in every single fingering. Now, that doesn't solve the problem automatically, because what you could do after that is just ignore those fingerings you wrote in and just play any random finger. You have to spend time actually following those fingerings, and they will become natural over time, but it's going to require this initial work that's going to be kind of hard and uncomfortable, and that's just part of learning anything new. And now, something to remember with these etudes as well, the goal of them is not just to be able to play notes at any quality. They're usually written to teach you something. Now, of course, these etudes are concert etudes, and they're meant to be played, and they're beautiful, but right now, I would honestly just look at them as, like, what am I learning from this right now? And it sounds like you need a foundation in fingering, and your professor can help you with that. Now, some good places that you can start. Giuliani arpeggios, that's a set of 120 or so. Let me actually confirm that. Yeah, okay, 120 fundamental arpeggios according to the AI overview. The fingerings are written in for those, and those are a pretty good foundation in how you would finger 120 essential arpeggios. So they're going to cover basically everything you'll encounter. Now, that's already a ton right there, and you don't have to go through all of them, but I would definitely go through the first 20 or so and get really, really good at them, especially the first 10, because those are truly fundamental. You have to be able to play those really amazingly. And you'll encounter those figures all the time, everywhere. Giuliani arpeggios, first 10. Just the next 4 years of your undergrad, you are practicing those an hour a day. I don't care. Just do it. You will be so glad you did. The next thing that you should do, because that's already a ton, I wouldn't want to give you too much, but the next foundational thing I would say you should do, you have to practice an IM alternation. A strict, no nonsense, no double finger, none of that. IM alternation. I don't care what the string crossing is. I don't care if it's awkward or not awkward. You should be able to do an IM alternation anywhere, no matter what. And that's again, a foundational part of playing guitar. As far as your autopilot scale passage, fingerings go, that one's going to be pretty good. And you want that to be really reliable and worked on. Now, you won't always do that, and doubling fingers is good, but the majority of a scale passage is going to be an IM alternation. Now, you can intelligently decide if you're going to start on I or start on M, and maybe put a slur in somewhere so your fingerings line up without any awkward string crossings. But you know what? You probably should be able to do the awkward string crossings anyways. I remember the first year that I played classical guitar, I took all the scales that I learned on electric guitar and I got really comfortable with a strict IM alternation. No matter what string I was going to next, if I played I, M is next, and I just ingrained that. Again, doing that the next 4 years of your undergrad, another hour a day. All right, so we got 2 hours of technique now. If you want to get really good at guitar, 2 hours of technique throughout your entire undergrad, that'll get you there. I remember doing hours of technique every day, because I've only been playing classical guitar for like 7 or 8 years. It hasn't been that long, and I feel like my technique, especially my right hand technique, is pretty solid at this point. I feel like at this point I could say that I've been playing since I was like, 13 or 14, but I started playing classical when I was 19, and I'm 27 now. Another little known fact about me. I know, I look like I'm 50,000 years old. I look terrible. I get it. You don't have to say it. That is your foundation for now, and there's a lot of nuance that's going to go into that later, but again, just that stuff. I think that's going to serve you really well. And then last thing, of course, ask your professor, what fingering do I play this with? And just go through any figure in the piece that's like not repeated and figure out how you're going to play everything. Yeah, so that's all the help I can give you right now. Come back in 4 years and let me know how you're doing. Hey, here's a quick one from Pierce Terry. You should totally do a Between Two Ferns style guitar interview show with every guitarist you've ever dissed. I would love to think that I have the range to do something like that. I'm sure I could, but I'd really have to work on my social skills for that. I don't talk to a whole lot of people these days, so like I can get pretty awkward when I'm in a setting with other people. For example, go check out my Brandon Aker lesson. You can see how like I just clam up. I would like to do something like that, but there's no rush to anything like that. I think if we actually look at the modern reaction videos that I've done, and by modern, I mean the ones where I'm not just camera on my computer and I'm like turning over like you're my friend over my shoulder and I'm showing you a video, but like my actual like modern Sorehand style, how I got popular reaction videos. I have a playlist of them, so I know exactly how many I've done. Yeah, wow, 128 of them. That's it. Only 128 videos. I don't think there's any rush to change the format or do anything new quite yet. I could make 1,000 or 2,000 of those videos, and I think just really honing that would probably be a good idea. These things are cumulative, and every time I kind of learn how to just be better at what I do, and I still feel like I'm growing quite a bit. And even in these practice logs, I'm still growing a lot too, and I've made a lot more of these. I think I've probably made like probably 4 times as many of these. And if you compare this, like how I am here, to the first one, my camera presence, editing, it's so much more refined. But yes, Between Two Ferns style interview, I would love to do that. Like Eric Andre style interview, I would love to do that. That sounds amazing. But there's no rush. I have my whole life ahead of me, and I'm probably going to be making videos forever and ever because it's just like the best and it's what I do. So there's a lot to learn. There's a lot of formats to explore, and there's a lot of just growth that I can have as a person too. It'll be interesting to see where things go, and I'm definitely open to all kinds of formats and doing all kinds of things. All right, so I think we got enough questions answered there. Hey, it's nice answering your questions. Thanks for leaving them. I appreciate it. And of course, feel free to leave more on this video, and I'll try to answer them in the next one. Anywho, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to go eat dinner with my family now, and then I'm going to put in another big ol' practice session, hopefully. I hope I'm not lying about that. And then I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning, and I'm going to do another practice session, and then at the end of that, I'm going to film what you're about to hear right now, so check this out. That's it. Alright. As you can see, getting to that second half is really shaky, but, you know, I haven't been working on that part for too long, but it's coming along. I feel like it's getting alright. I did an attempt of, playing the first page from memory, and I got, like, all but 2 lines through, and I couldn't do it, and I didn't want to try again. But next time, I bet you the first page will be memorized. Yeah, that piece is so hard that by the time you're able to play it fluently, it kind of, like, has to be memorized anyways. Anyways, that was that. Let's go back to the video. Whoa, pretty good, right? If you watch the last practice log, that's about, like, 5 hours of improvement right there. Can you tell a difference? Yeah, fingers are feeling good. I'm, like, saying that. They might be feeling terrible in that video, I don't know. But my fingers, as of today, feel good. They feel accurate, they feel strong, I feel clear, and yeah, it's just a beautiful thing, isn't it? Isn't that fugue awesome? God, I love that fugue. I'm, like, obsessed with it. It's amazing. Alright, anywho, I think we can go ahead and wrap this one up here. So, of course, if you made it this far, be sure to subscribe and leave a like. And like I said, leave some more comment questions, leave people for me to react to, of course. Send an email if you want to guarantee that I see it, because sometimes, like, you know, comments just get lost. But do still leave comments, because it's good for my channel. Of course, I have not heard from Augustine yet. I'm getting a little sad. I'm getting discouraged. Augustine, pick up some Augustine strings. They're the best in the business. Don't do me wrong, Augustine. This is gonna be like a dark thing. I'm gonna get more and more resentful of them, and I'm gonna start hating them too. I won't. I will never hate Augustine, because I need some strings for my guitar. Come on, guys. Augustine, let's hear it. It would be so epic if I can actually get a hold of them, and it's gonna start getting sad if I'm just promoting Augustine for like months on end, and they just don't care. Whatever. I don't know. There's nothing wrong with being a little sad sometimes. What, like, I need to portray this image of, like, oh, I'm always winning? I'm not always winning. Like, life is hard sometimes, and sometimes things just are sad. It's fine. Are you happy all the time? What are you, like, Mr. Perfect? That's how I feel about a lot of your comments sometimes. It's like, oh, freaking Mr. Perfect saw my video, sorry. Sorry to taint your perfect world with my, like, life, alright. Of course, guitar lessons, I don't offer them, but I do know people who are, so feel free to reach out about that. If you have, and you haven't heard back from me, it's around Christmas time. I'm sorry, I haven't been checking my email. But I'll do that at some point. Is there anything else? Oh, Rutin's Delight. There's a sale. I'm noticing a high volume of female-sounding names who are purchasing this sweatshirt. And I know that my analytics are like 99% male or something like that. So from that, I'm deducing that I think a lot of your girlfriends are buying you Sorehand sweatshirts. So on behalf of me to all the boyfriends out there, I do hope you like them. I love mine. It is kind of cool having Fernandez's sword just plastered on you everywhere. I do hope you like them, fellas. Alright, well, I think that pretty much covers this one. So, I'll see you in the next one.